weeks. I guess that's about right. About 2.5 more weeks to be able to figure it out. So we'll see what we can do. We'll try to get out.
So.
We need to try to get out is what we need to try to do. And didn't we figure – thank you, Ken, for the call. Didn't we – I think we figured this out at one time, Jackson. And if you're busy in there, let me know. But I think we said it was the 18th. Let me do the math. So we have 14 days to go to the 1,000th show. So tomorrow is 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. So, yeah, it's March 18th. It's Wednesday the 18th. So it's 2 weeks from yesterday. We will celebrate our 1,000th show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. What do you think? Cookie cake, Jackson? Yeah?
Aren't you leaving early that day?
Not on the 18th. On the 11th, I have to leave early. That's when I have to go to the Americans for Prosperity event. Have you? Have I told you? Don't say out loud if I have. Have I told you what I'm doing at that event?
No.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's like a little bucket list item for me.
Wait.
Pretty cool.
Is it something you've told me about?
Well, I can't remember.
Let me say it in your ear.
Okay, just say it in my ear. I am not. But it's along those lines. It might have been, yes.
Okay.
Are we talking off the radio right now? What are we doing?
We were.
I could hear every word Jackson said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm joking.
We haven't had a lot of Ken Weaver in our life today.
Brother Ken Weaver's been real busy in here, boy.
Like a one-legged man at a butt kicking contest.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. What's been going on in there,
Man,
Ken?
it's just one of those. It's one of those days where it takes a lot of writing and rewriting and researching and making cross-referencing and that sort of thing. There's
Doing the news.
A lot of political news today, and when there's politics, you got to cross-reference, you got to double-check. You know what I mean?
I do.
You just got to make sure you got to put things in the context.
Well, you can't believe, we are reaching a point. Fellas, and I know we have nincompoops to get to, but fellas, we are getting to a point. Remember when, when we were youngsters, even you, Jackson, you're still a little bit wet behind the ears, but when we were youngsters, they said, hey, don't believe anything unless you see it and hear it for yourself, right? That's kind of the litmus test.
Yes, sir.
Got to see it and hear it for yourself. Well, now, if you see it and hear it, you better do some cross-checking.
You still got to do it.
Because it could be AI.
Right.
I see people falling for AI crap all the time. Y'all.
Constantly.
Y'all, kittens are not falling into elephant enclosures, and the elephants aren't picking them back up and putting them back out of the elephant enclosure. That is just not happening.
You have to cross your I's and dot your T's.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Jackson, you do. You have to cross your I's and dot your T's. Every time I see you, I cross my I's. and I dot my TTs. Can I get some nincompoops music, please? Thank you very much.
Nincompoops in the news.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what the real news is. Ken Weaver delivers those headlines twice an hour. I opine on said same. It is time that we expand our horizons, where we look all across the state of Tennessee, from Memphis to Bristol and all points in between. I was trying to remember. I was trying to think of Johnston City. I couldn't remember.
It's Johnson City.
It's Johnson. There's a Johnston City out there somewhere, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
From Memphis to Johnson City and all points in between. We go all across the state of Tennessee, these United States of America, nay, the world, where we find the nincompoops. We present them daily to you, and you have an opportunity to vote on the nincompoop of the day. Eventually, we gather those together and we present trophies and awards to nincompoops of the week. And I don't look like I'm going to win it this week because I am woefully behind. Who won yesterday, Jackson?
Me.
Did you really?
You told me I did.
See.
My source was Matt Murphy.
I do think I totaled it up yesterday, Ken, and I think Jackson was the winner.
Okay, so yesterday, that was Cameron's.
Uh-huh. And Cameron...
So he beat Cameron's story?
He did. His story was... What was your story,
what
Jackson?
was your story?
It was...
I can't even remember it.
Really?
I do remember totaling it after the show, and I remembered begrudgingly.
Oh, the guy killing spiders by lighting little fires.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
Spider
what it
Killer.
was.
Yeah, Spider Killer. But it was between Cameron and Jackson.
Yeah.
And eventually I had to admit that Jackson won.
So the score is 2, Williams, Weaver 1, Murphy 0.
Yes.
That's a big hole, Brother Murphy.
Yes, Jackson.
So I am, if
You're-
Ken doesn't win the next 2 days, I'm guaranteed to at least play rock, paper, scissors.
In the golf terminology, you are dormy. That's what we would call it in golf. You are dormy, meaning you can't lose. You can only go to overtime. But you could win it today.
I could. And I got a good one.
Remember last week how despondent you were on Friday? You didn't even want to do Nincompoop's in the news because you'd already lost.
Don't you feel the same way today?
No, not really.
Well,
Not
because
really.
you still have hope.
I still have a sliver
Wait
of
till
hope.
tomorrow. Wait till after I win today, and tomorrow's just an exhibition match. You just wait.
I don't feel like my stories are good enough. So you won yesterday, Jackson. What's the batting order?
First off, I have a question.
Oh, okay.
Are either of your stories from Ohio?
Maybe.
Mine does start with an O.
Mine does too. As in, oh, crap.
We're going to go Murphy, Weaver, Williams.
You're taking a little gamble there, buddy.
I am.
This one is not going to win me any awards. This one is not going to win me for the day. But I think this is a nincompooperi that needs to be addressed.
Let's hear it, Brother Murphy.
It has to do with specialty license plates. I'm not a fan of specialty license plates. I think they're stupid.
Really?
No, I mean, I just do. I mean, Ken,
Yes, sir.
if you got yourself a specialty plate,
Yeah.
well, Bell's got one.
Does he?
It was inspired by my nickname for him. I called him Headless Bell.
Right.
Well, yeah, I guess maybe he doesn't want me to say this, but his license plate says Headless on it.
Yeah.
Hedless. Headless.
Right.
Or, heedless. I don't like specialty license plates, but as they go, this one's pretty good. Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, has a message for a Long Island grandfather that you're in luck. A fellow by the name of Sid Bykowski has been in a fight of his life since last January to keep his customized license plate. January 23rd, Bykowski posted on social media that the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles had pulled his custom plate, calling it, quote, objectionable. A letter he shared from the DMV said he must destroy his old plates and replace them with new standard plates that the state provided. Bykowski said no. He had a we objection to the plate being called objectionable. The plate in this case reads, you might want to write this down, Jackson, so you can spell it out.
I saw this story. I know what it says. I didn't think it was funny.
What do you mean you didn't think it was funny?
I didn't think it was a good nincompoop, so I kept scrolling. It says pee before you go, right? Oh, pee before we go. My fault. Pee before we go.
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah, that's what it says. Mm-hmm. That's not funny?
No.
You don't think that's funny?
No. Ken,
don't
you think it's funny?
It's kind of funny.
I just do the news, boys.
Nope, this is nincompoops. You're involved.
Okay, I'm with you, fellas.
Bykowski said he had a we objection to the plate being called objectionable. It's a simple plea. It's not an incitement to riot. Have we inflamed the very soul of toddlers everywhere, struggling against all odds to hold it in, he said, other than to evoke a smile, a passing thumbs up, a wink or a nod from motorists and pedestrians. Where's the groundswell of objection to the public display of benign jest, wrote Bykowski. His story did not whiz past Hochul, who intervened on his behalf. She called his plate a public service. Hochul said that she had to go give Bykowski a call to give him the good news. I read about your plight and the DMV took your plate away. I loved it, and we're going to get it back to you. So the nincompoops in this story are the Department of Motor Vehicles that make arbitrary decisions as to how they do all these things. And yes, Jackson.
I've been asked to ask you what plate's on your motorcycle.
It's a don't tread on me plate. But it's I don't know what the numbers are. But it says it's don't tread on me.
Your brother told me to ask you.
Oh, did he now?
He did.
But that's not a specialty plate. It's not a vanity plate.
I'm surprised you don't have a Dolly Parton plate.
Yeah, they look kind of prissy. I don't care for them. Jackson, who's next?
Ken Weaver.
Oh, well, then you go right ahead, Brother Ken.
All right, boys.
I think your story's great, Ken, by the way, before it gets started. Jackson's
Me
sucks.
too. I think Ken's going to have a great story.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you boys ready?
We're ready.
A United Airlines passenger ended up in a different country after accidentally boarding the wrong flight. The passenger was headed from Los Angeles to Nicaragua with a layover in Houston, Texas, but ended up in Tokyo. The passenger reportedly realized mid-flight that he or she was on the wrong flight and asked the flight attendant why the trip to Houston was taking 6 hours rather than just over 3 hours. They ended up landing in Tokyo, stayed at a hotel for 2 nights while United sorted out a travel itinerary to the original destination. At first, they offered a $300 travel credit as an apology, but later offered $1,000 in travel credits.
Did you say, why is this taking so long? You're going to the wrong place?
Yeah, why is it taking so long to get to Houston?
You're not going to Houston, sir.
That's what we in the business call an upgrade.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. A lot of folks chimed in on Reddit. They said, yeah, if by 6 hours you haven't arrived in Houston, something's definitely wrong, but I'd love to go to Japan by mistake. They typically announce the flight's destination at least one time before they close the door. Perhaps a lack of technology or a language barrier was involved here. And then another user commented, you'd be surprised how clueless people are.
I don't understand how that happens to anyone. You're a nincompoop if that happens to you.
Yeah, I make sure.
Yes.
I mean,
But isn't it ultimately on the airline? Like, you gave them a ticket that said you were going to Houston, and they let you board a flight to Japan?
That's kind of what you would think. I mean, I always double check. I mean, double, triple, quadruple check. I'm at the right gate.
You know, I'm
afraid that'll happen.
I get on the plane and I start loudly talking about, boy, oh boy, great day to go to Baltimore, ain't it? And make sure that no one's expression changes. We're not going to Baltimore. We're going to the Bahamas. Jackson, you better go quick.
All right.
Boo! Boo! Boo!
All right. Suspect dubbed Oscar the Grouch caught hiding in a trash can, video shows. Police dashcam video shows a sanitation worker getting a big shock when a suspect pops out of a trash bin. Dashcam video from the Huber Heights Police Department was shared on social media. Police said the suspect ran off during a routine traffic stop. As the officer was searching for the area for the suspect, a sanitation worker was moving a trash bin. The worker opens the bin and jumps up in a startle when he sees a man hiding. The suspect then jumps out of the bin and starts to run. However, the cop ran after him and placed him into custody. Police have dubbed the suspect Oscar the Grouch. It is not clear what charges the suspect could face.
So my nincompoop story is worse than your nincompoop story, and your nincompoop story is basically a guy got arrested and he hid in a trash can.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's let the people decide. Vote Weaver, vote Murphy, or Jackson.
Weaver!
That's how we do it. Nincompoops in the news. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. What is happening, friends? I can tell you what's happening at the Glock store. They're selling some of those Gen 6 Glocks, and if you don't have them in stock, and, they've been selling so quickly, I hesitate to tell you that they've got the Glock 19s in stock. They had the 19s, the 17s, and the 45s at one time or another. But you can certainly pre-order the Gen 6 variety. These are great Glocks, the best ever. The best ever. They take the customizable suggestions that the customers make over the years in the other varieties, and they add those to the stock Glocks, and they improve them considerably as a result. That's what it's all about. And right now, if you pre-order, you mention my name, you'll get a free magazine when you pick that Glock up. How about that? Just mention my name. Free magazine for you. Free, free, free. My friends at the Glock store want to see you, whether it's in the Shoot 270 rooms, Neverlane's rooms at shoot270.com. You can find out more about that, or in their retail show space. You can also tour their manufacturing division, which is right there on campus. The Glock store is on Airlane Drive, just off of Elm Hill Pike, which is just off of Briley Parkway, which is convenient from the airport or anywhere else within the sound of my voice. Friends, you owe it to yourself to go to the one, the only, the Glock store, online at glockstore.com.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Metro Police warning drivers about a new crime trend. It's called sliding. It's when you're pumping gas and thieves sneak up to the passenger side of your car and they open the door and they take your valuables like a purse or a cell phone. Maybe you've got a gun laying in the seat. Channel 4 says police have responded to about a dozen reports recently, mainly in Midtown and Southeast Nashville, and thieves are targeting mostly women.
Do you keep like a purse on your passenger side?
Yeah. And then the car seat on the other, just right behind it. And typically the kids are just in the car. So that's really scary.
Yeah, police say the best way to protect yourself, take your keys, lock the car while you fill up. Over at the State House, a bill has been filed to lower the age requirement to be a school bus driver in Tennessee from 25 to 23 to help districts with their school bus driver shortage. Channel 4 says the House sponsor of the bill, Smyrna Republican State Rep Mike Sparks, pushes back on claims younger drivers are too dangerous.
The data doesn't back that up. The crash data shows it's the older drivers that's had more wrecks than the younger drivers. There are responsible 23-year-olds, and we've got them serving the military. We've got them patrolling our streets. We've got them educating our kids. 23-year-olds, if they go through this rigorous training to be a bus driver, they're responsible.
Minimum age requirement for school bus drivers in each of Tennessee's neighboring states is between 18 and 21. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton sat for a 6-hour closed-door deposition with the House Oversight Committee investigating convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Speaking to reporters outside the meeting, Clinton said she told members of Congress that she had no knowledge of Epstein's or Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes and that she never encountered Epstein.
It then got, at the end, quite unusual because I started being asked about UFOs and a series of questions about Pizzagate, one of the most vile, bogus conspiracy theories that was propagated on the internet.
Pizzagate alleged that Hillary Clinton, her 2016 presidential campaign, and the Democratic Party were running a child sex trafficking ring out of the basement of a Washington, D.C. pizza restaurant. A man carrying an AR-15 fired shots into the restaurant to free children, only to find there wasn't a ring and there was no basement. And at one point, the hearing paused because a Republican committee member sent a photo of the closed-door session to a conservative influencer who posted it online, violating the committee's rules.
The picture was leaked from inside the room where the deposition was happening. That is against committee rules. The picture showed Hillary Clinton sitting alongside her lawyers and across the table from lawmakers as they were questioning her. It was posted online by Benny Johnson. He is a social media influencer. He says it was sent to him by Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. She responded online saying, quote, Benny did nothing wrong. Proceeding with deposition, she did not deny sending him that picture.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. It is complete stop and go if you're eastbound 24 once you get past 440. 440 eastbound to 24 from 65 is like a parking lot. So is northbound 65 up to the South Loop. Now, we've got a crash. Looks like it is partially blocking the off-ramp 65 northbound to Briley Parkway, Ellington Parkway. And over on the South Loop, still showing 140 westbound at 2nd Avenue. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy. This is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, and we're pleased you decided to join us. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. Are we still offline on the talk side of things? On the television side of things, we're back up and running. So the television side of things back up and running. If you were over on Talk TV and now you found your way to an app, Talk TV is going at YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. Thanks, Jackson, for getting that back up. We're also on TuneIn, iHeart, Spotify, and, of course, you can find us on the FM dial, 99.7 FM. We thank you for every moment that you're able to spend with us. We've got about 50 or so minutes left before we'll hand off to Mark Levin. Telephone lines wide open and available, 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. I always get uncomfortable when I yap my gums to the point that we make Ken Weaver do the news late. And I know I do it all the time, and I'm sorry. It is a failure common to this model, and I'm trying to work on it. But I think that Ken will be comforted in some form or fashion when he finds out that he's the big winner today. He's not even back there, is he? No? Okay. Well, he is. Ken Weaver wins today with his Ninka story, setting up a very interesting mono matchup. There will be, my friend, no tiebreaker this week.
Yeah,
Unless I win. That's true. You know what? I might pass just to set it up.
Like you've been doing all week?
That's hurtful. That's hurtful. I give my all with my
Really, that
nincompoops.
license plate story was your all?
I got votes. You lost too, pal. Yes, I thought it was good. Pee before we go. There, because you got to pee, because we're not stopping. You heard that when you were a kid, and you know it. Y'all better pee before you go. Or before we go. Anyway, Ken, big winner today, and it sets up a matchup.
An appeal.
No, you cannot. There's no appeals. You cannot file an appeal. This is not a criminal court. Or a civil court, for that matter. No appeals. The votes have come in. It wasn't even close either, Jackson. I hate to tell you. You and I got destroyed today by Mr. Weaver. 615-737-9986. Donald Trump taking a bit of a victory lap today as we have learned that Donald Trump will be allowed to move forward with his ballroom project, $400 million plan, completely off the books regarding taxpayer money being utilized to create the ballroom. Presidents, since you and I, for the most part, have been alive, have lamented the fact that there's not a proper ballroom in the White House. The White House has outgrown the East Room, and there's not another proper ballroom to hold proper state dinners, and so they are left with putting up tents in the backyard. I mean, literally putting up tents in the backyard. Really nice tents. And if you're the owner of a tent company, you absolutely love this arrangement. Or in and around Washington, D.C., that is. But it is just not a good look. Well, presidents during our lifetime have said we should do something about this, but they always turned to Congress to fund it. And, of course, it kind of goes by the wayside at that point. Donald Trump said there's more than one way to crack a nut or skin a cat. And he decided to raise the funding on his own. And, of course, the media and the leftists in Washington, D.C. destroyed him as a result. He's saving the taxpayer $350 to $400 million, and they're destroying him as a result of it. They would destroy him if he used taxpayer dollars, and they're destroying him when he doesn't use taxpayer dollars. It's almost as if he can't win one way or the other. If I didn't know any better, I would believe that's the case. But a judge today, there was a lawsuit filed against Donald Trump regarding the manner in which he's funding the project and the manner in which he's executing the project. And a judge in the case ruled in Trump's favor today, saying that he could move forward with project construction. They've already demolished the East Wing. And that will continue. Construction will continue throughout Trump's presidency. And the expectation is it will be done in the next several years. In the meantime, closer to home, we mentioned this, and several of you have asked me to flesh this story out and let you know what's going on. House Bill 1660 in the Tennessee General Assembly for the 114th legislative session is sponsored by Representative Jake McCalman. It relates to racing facilities and nuisance lawsuits. This is obviously this is applicable statewide, but clearly in Nashville, Tennessee, it is something that we all should get behind. It is a bill that would restrict nuisance or claim-based lawsuits against racing facilities by surrounding property owners, particularly if the facility existed prior to the owner purchasing or building a home in the area, regardless of when the claim arises. It prevents local government from enforcing ordinance that would limit racing facility operations in contradiction to state law. It also defines area as a 5-mile radius of the facility. It does not exempt facilities from state and federal environmental or safety concerns, and it is in the Civil Justice Subcommittee right now. We will have Jake on the show. He's a good friend of the show. We'll have him on the show next week, if not tomorrow, to further talk about House Bill 1660. This is a bill that will protect the Nashville Speedway. It will protect the fairgrounds. There's a lot of confusion running around because, well, that's the way John Ingram wants it. John Ingram wants that property for himself. He's always wanted that property for himself. I don't know John Ingram, but I know that he is a rich dude that is lying to the people of this community for his own purposes. And I don't like that very much. The voters said they want racing at that facility, and they did so, 10 years ago or so? We need racing at that facility. And, oh, by the way, if you want to improve the look of that community, if you want to infuse some money in that community, Bristol's ready to do it to the tune of $130 million. You've heard me talking about this in the past, but we must demand that they act. We must raise our voices to this cause because left to their own devices, the leftist, do-gooder, tree-hugging, non-gas guzzling hippie types over there on the Metro Council, they will do the bidding of John Ingram. He will buy them off in some form or fashion. He's trying to do so. My understanding is he's dangling $2-3 million in quote-unquote affordable housing in front of them now. Hey, come get this money, but the only way you come get this money is to give me that property. I don't like it. I don't like a bit of it. So kudos to Representative Jake McCalman, one of the good guys up there on the Hill. 618-615-737-9986. How old is Hillary Clinton, or how old is Hillary Clinton get to choose where she can testify at? I'm just reading them as they come in, boys. How old is Hillary Clinton get to choose where she can testify at? Is that going to be okay for just any ordinary citizen to tell judges where to meet them at? I don't think it's preferable that the preposition go at the end of the sentence, but whatever. I don't know how old Hillary is. She looked really old. I need to correct myself, though, because I thought it was at her request that this be a closed-door hearing. Apparently, it was at the committee's request that this be closed the door because they knew that they would ask questions of a classified nature, and the only way they could ask those questions would be to have closed-door hearings. Hillary Clinton came out and grandstanded before the assembled press and claimed that she was asked about UFOs and Pizzagate. Sure, why not? She was asked a lot of questions about her associations with Jeffrey Epstein and his cohorts. She was asked why Ghislaine Maxwell was at her wedding. She said it was because, or Ghislaine, whatever, however you pronounce her first name, Ghislaine Maxwell was at the wedding because Ghislaine Maxwell was a +1. Mm-hmm. Anybody believe that? Anybody believe that? I don't know that I believe that. So that's Hillary Clinton. Hillary was born in 46. Man, same as Trump. She's 79 years old. Wow. Oh, that's right, because she was born, she claimed to be named after Edmund Hillary, right? Y'all remember this story? For years, Hillary Clinton claimed that she was named after Sir Edmund Hillary, who was the first to ascend up Mount Everest. And it was only after it was pointed out that she was born a couple of years before that happened that she stopped telling the lie. I mean, come on. Once a liar, always a liar. Stephen is next up. Hey, Stephen, how are you?
Hey, what's going on tonight, fella?
What's going on, Stephen? What are you doing?
Hey, not much. Just listening to you make a point and telling America how it really is. Thank you.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.
Hey, yes, sir. What I wanted to share with you was something that my grandfather used to say years ago, which is hitting this nail right on the head. Years ago, my grandfather was a smart man, didn't say much, but when he did, he was like E.F. Hutton. People listened.
Mm-hmm.
And what he used to say back then was, when political correctness overrules common sense, a country is doomed. Now, this guy must have been a psychic. Way back in the day, back in the early 80s, he knew exactly what was coming down this pipeline. Look what we are living with now, and thank God for the great American people electing Donald Trump and trying to get this mess straightened out and turned around.
Well, you're right. You said it was your father or your grandfather that said that?
My grandfather said that.
Your grandfather was a wealth of wisdom. I'll tell you one that my grandpa said, Stephen. He said that he said they ought to call it uncommon sense because I don't see a lot of it walking around anymore.
No, there definitely isn't much of that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I went to college in the late 80s and early 90s, and we had professors back then that was teaching us one world government and how America was too mighty and how we should take our wealth and help the rest of the world. America cannot be the policeman of the world. We need to take care of ourselves first. Then anything that is left over, then at that point we can help other countries.
Amen. I agree 100%. I think that other nations, many of our allies, could use a dose of protecting themselves, and they don't need necessarily the United States of America to be out there to protect them. Thank you, Stephen, for the call. Great call, great points. I have 38 plus trillion reasons why we don't need to continue to be the policeman of the world. I have 38 plus trillion reasons why we need to focus in on our people here at home and taking care of our own and ending this habit that we seem to have of overspending by about $1 trillion or so every single year, money that we do not have, that we're borrowing against the good faith and credit of the United States of America that we'll never pay back. And that includes the nation of Israel. Israel's our ally. We should do everything we can to support Israel. That doesn't mean sinking constantly billions of dollars toward Israel with no expectation of return. 23 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Back after this. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Defend Systems. Defend Systems is a life safety and security consultation firm. They're based right here in Middle Tennessee. Started by Brink Fiddler many years ago. Brink spent years in the police department with the Metro Nashville Police Force, and he understands how to secure a facility, and he understands how to beat those security apparatus. As a result, he has consulted on security design and readiness for VIP residential projects, multiple corporate facilities, commercial buildings, and several schools. He can provide customized protection solutions for you and your facility. If you're a business owner, if you're a decision maker at a school or any place that people gather, you need Brink Fiddler to come to your property. You need him to examine said property, and you need him to talk with your employees. It's what he does, and he's the best in the business at it. All customized to your facility. Rapid response medical emergency and intruder action plan, a security improvement consultation, and they'll do it for you. All you have to do is make the call that so many others have made. 615-236-6484, 236-6484. It's Brink Fiddler and Defense Systems. There's Ken Weaver. He's over in News Closet B. Correction, Hillary Clinton is 78 years of age, not 79. Born October 26, 1947, not 46. Correct me if I'm wrong, writes Sally, but doesn't Japan hold most or at least some of our debt? Yes, Japan is one of the largest nation debt holders of American Treasury bonds. If we don't just tell them Japan holds most of, if not some of our debt, if so, why don't we just tell them we're not paying you back? Japan started the war. We finished the war. And we rebuilt the country for them. I'd say they still owe us money. Well, I don't pretend to be maybe the best source for this, but I think I can answer the question. We borrow money against the good faith and credit of the United States of America. And when we say we borrow money, you have to have something backing that printed money. Otherwise, that printed money it has no value, right? Look at what happened to Germany after World War I. They tried to print their way out of their depression. Or more accurately, they tried to print their way out of their recession, and it caused a depression, a huge one, because it devalued the money. If you print more of it, then the value goes down without backing it by something. And so the way that we get away on paper with, and I'm oversimplifying this a little bit for our purposes of the discussion today, we get away with this by selling treasury bonds. And those bonds are constantly coming due. Well, if you default on the repayment of those bonds, then nobody's going to buy the bonds anymore. And so you're cutting off the spigot. I've said this, that the $38 trillion that we will never, and people don't want to hear it, but it's true, we will never pay that money back. I have a $1,000 challenge to anyone that can describe to me the realistic way that we convince the American people that it is in our best interest to spend taxpayer dollars paying down that debt. The best we can hope for is to stop adding to it. This nation will cease to exist before we pay back the $38 trillion. And we will cease to exist if we continue to add to it, sooner rather than later. It's time for the news on Super Talk. Well, friends, when there's a big deal going on at Genesis, you know I love telling you about it. And right now, they have quickly become one of the largest dealers of luxury pre-owned Rolex Rolex watches, I should say, with diamonds, many of them, in America. And they're having a huge Rolex event at Genesis Diamonds. Next Friday and Saturday, the March 6th and 7th event is happening both locations, Green Hills and Cool Springs. If you've always wanted a Rolex, but you just haven't been able to pull the trigger, or maybe you're looking to add to your collection, you cannot miss this huge two-day event. It features a stunning selection of those hard-to-find watches like Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, all available for you at Genesis. They have the most popular models in pristine condition. Some of them are still in the box, never worn before. During this event, you can take advantage of special financing as well, up to 5 years. And with your purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, you will receive absolutely free a pair of 4-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings from Genesis, just for you. Now, if you already own a Rolex, bring it in. You can trade it in. Don't miss this chance to get a luxury timepiece you've always wanted. Get a free pair of lab-grown diamond earrings. As a result, Green Hills and Cool Springs. See store for details while supplies last and on approved credit. Only at Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. What was the debt before we balanced the budget when Clinton was president? Adjust the amount for inflation. It's about half of what we have now. Well, why are you asking me questions if you know the answers? We balanced the budget in 8 years and had a surplus. And we did not balance the budget for 8 years. Had a surplus. It is doable. They did it by spurring growth while bending the curve, not eliminating immediately or adopting a zero-sum budget. That would take the economy. Trump is doing just that. Plus, we can use tariffs to pay the debt service on the national debt if we do it right. When Bill Clinton balanced the budget, it took it took an act of Congress, obviously. Bill Clinton was president when Republicans took over Congress and were consistent in their desire to pass a balanced budget, and they managed to do so. I think it was 99, if my memory serves me correctly. Let me go to U.S. debt clock. So what you do is, I don't know if you're aware of the debt clock. No, I want to close that secret window. Thank you. And you can go to the time machine. let's go back. I'll go back to 2000, the year 2000. On this day in 2000, the U.S. national debt was $5.8 trillion. $5.8 trillion. Okay? Today, our national debt is $38.7 trillion. It will roll over to $39 trillion probably in the next couple months. It is going up like a hockey stick with no end in sight. There is no desire to pay off this debt, even for those of us who talk about it. Now, yes, Clinton was president of the United States the last time we had a balanced budget. Yes, I think that was, if my memory is right, and someone will fact check me on it, was 1999. Yes, the national debt was only $5.8 trillion, but we did not pay any of that off during the time that we balanced the budget the last time around. 1278 says, are we ever going to collect from the policing we've been doing around the world? Of course not. The best we can hope for as a nation is to engage in favorable business deals with those nations that we do liberate. For example, Venezuela. There's nothing wrong with the United States of America entering into favorable business practices by which we buy some of their fossil fuels or, the oil at a discounted rate on the premise that we liberated that nation and got back to a freedom-loving country that they were before Hugo Chavez took over and brought socialism into their midst. But we're not, we do not have the appetite. You understand, we overspend by trillions of dollars a year. Not only would we have to cut the federal budget to the point that we stop that overspending, the leaders of the United States of America would have to look to the American people and say, instead of policing immigration, instead of national defense, instead of entitlement programs that people have become so dependent on, instead of expanding Social Security, instead of offering COLA, instead of working on Veterans Administration affairs, instead of health care coverage for those who need it most, instead of any of those things. Now, most of them are fraught with fraud and peril and overspending. Doesn't matter. You would have to look to the American people and tell them that instead of spending on any of those priorities, that we want to pay off some of the debt, which means mostly nothing to anyone that doesn't understand how desperately we need to do so to save this country for the long-term future. We're never going to do it. I hate it, but we're never going to do it. It's like telling your household that you have to pay off the debt that you've incurred while your household expenses go wanting. It's even worse than that. It's like me telling you, you have an unlimited credit card, but you have to pay that credit card off. Why in the hell would you pay that credit card off if the credit card's unlimited? Zane is next up on the show. Hello, Zane. Hope you're well.
How are you doing, Mr. Murphy?
Great. Thank you.
Well, you know what? I love your show, and you guys have reignited my passion for the hatred of politics, but I need you to help me wrap my head around something.
All right.
So Hillary does her thing. There's a hiccup today, right? Whatever. Because somebody sent a picture, a still shot.
Correct. Hillary got all butthurt about it.
She did get all butthurt about it. Now it's in the major news. So I'm going to try and be as diplomatic as I can. So to me, the Clintons' reputation is lower than well poop. And so I just can't, whoever she was named after, I think the Angel of Death, their nickname was Hillary Death.
I like that.
But whatever. Anyways, so she originally said, no, I want this out in the public. I want this on the news. I want this. So she didn't get that. But somebody sent a picture, and now, oh my gosh, the world's in turmoil because they had to stop what they were doing. She got what she asked for when that picture got out. She got public. So to me, no faith in the Clintons whatsoever. Do you help me wrap my head around this? Do you just think that was oh my gosh, it didn't get stopped because they continued, obviously, but it stalled. So do you think that was a tactic?
No, I have not looked into the subject enough to know. Was it Lauren Boebert that took the photo? I think I heard that name floated around.
I don't. That thing doesn't ring the bell. I can't remember. I did hear it earlier. I think Ken mentioned it on the news.
I thought so too, and I have not paid enough attention to it to know one way or the other.
Well,
no,
like
I think they're being too cute, right? They're being too cute with calling Hillary Clinton. I don't know that necessarily, if they did not have any specific reason to do so, any definable reason to do so, I don't know that it makes a lot of sense for them to call Hillary Clinton at all. Bill Clinton's the one you want.
Well, sure, he needs to get there, but it's going to be the same answers. I didn't spend time with the guy, I didn't know them. And what's her name? Maxwell, she showed up at the wedding. Well, I just knew her from a distance.
Yeah, she was a plus one from somebody else. And who, but,
whatever.
And I have no idea.
The
Did they follow up?
trust is gone. That trust of the Clinton administration is gone. I mean, well, you know as well as I do, right? They had the Clinton, the foundation, whatever. I mean, all of the billions of dollars they collected, only like 25,000 went to charity, and so where'd the rest of it go? So that's the trust issue, is what I'm saying. So do you really believe for a moment that she knew nothing? I don't.
No, I don't know necessarily that she knew to the extent that Bill Clinton was getting out and about with Jeffrey Epstein. I certainly know. I mean, I think it is well known that Hillary Clinton was aware that her husband was cheating on her. And Zane, thank you for the call. I think it is well established that Hillary Clinton, while not happy about these types of things, allowed it to happen because theirs became more of a business arrangement as opposed to a traditional marriage. I don't know. As much as I despise Hillary Clinton, and I think Hillary Clinton is far meaner and more mean-spirited than her husband, I don't know that I would go so far as to say evil. I think we throw that word around a little too much, but if she's not evil, she's right next door. This might not be hell, but hell's got to be right around the corner, that sort of thing. But I would be purely speculating, if I were to answer your question and to tell you that she knew about Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein and exactly what they were doing and how much Bill knew and how much he was involved in the underage side of that. Bill obviously enjoyed the company of young ladies through Jeffrey Epstein. I don't think that's in debate. The debate is really how young it got and whether it got to the point of criminal behavior. Most of us believe that it did. There's testimony to that idea. What Hillary knew and what she didn't know is a little bit different. It was Lauren Boebert who took the photo and then eventually passed it along to some sort of influencer, and that influencer eventually passed it along to the general public. And that's the one that Hillary got all butthurt about, and they stopped to the meeting, and oh my God, and you said this was private, and et cetera, et cetera. Lauren Boebert needs to have her wrist slapped on some level because you took you gave the mainstream media a gift, whether you wanted to or not. You handed them an opportunity not to focus on exactly what was said inside of the testimony, but what was done by you. You handed the mainstream media an excuse to call this a dog and pony show, which is what they've tried to call it all along. They don't want any of these Democrats to be held to account. They only want Republicans to be blamed. But Democrats, there's plenty of blame to go around, I'm sad to tell you. Was Benny Johnson the influencer? That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate on so many fronts. I don't blame Benny. He was the recipient. I blame Lauren Boebert, the one who took the photo. 10 minutes until 7 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. The legendary coach Lou Holtz once said, before people spend money, they ask 3 questions. Can I trust you? Are you committed to excellence? And do you care about me? Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy. And for 26 years, the great Aaron Stokes, the late great Aaron Stokes, lived by that idea, that he wanted people to trust him, that he was committed to excellence, and that he does care about his customers and his employees alike. Aaron built his reputation on this. We've lost Aaron, but the Eurofix tradition rolls on. Aaron Stokes believed in doing business the right way, and Eurofix believes in doing business the right way. They have thrived in 5 different locations: Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, and Mount Juliet. They have a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on all work performed. Rental cars available with every appointment. So, can you trust them? Do they care? Are they committed to excellence? I emphatically say yes to all of those questions. Call or book today at myeurofix.com. That's myeurofix.com or 844-EUROFIX. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm reading some of the commentary that happened right after we went off Talk TV. People get very upset. My brother included. You know what my brother's first comment was? Jackson, what did you do? Well spoken, Brian. Well spoken. And I agree with your sentiment, and I agree with your inclination and instinct. It's always, always, always Jackson's fault. Jackson, what are you doing tonight?
911 Nashville's back.
What is the premise? Do we know the plot line, the storyline for tonight?
No, and I don't care because I'm actually not going to watch that.
Then what are you doing?
I'm going to watch the Traitors season finale.
Uh-huh.
The Pit, probably. Great show.
You will not watch 911 Nashville tonight?
I will watch it in the morning to review on the show tomorrow promptly.
So tomorrow night is the big IMAX night?
Yes.
What is your plan?
Going to see Scream 7.
Scream 7? How is there 7?
They're profitable.
I've seen Scream 2, or was it 3?
I gave you 3 because you told me you had seen the first one, and you don't think
I
you've
had
seen
not. I realized 5 minutes into the Scream 3 that I had not seen the Scream 1 and the Scream 2. I knew enough about them to figure it out, but
The movie is so much better if you've seen the first one.
I understand. That Bad Santa was good, though.
You liar.
I'll watch it.
When?
Eventually.
You are the person holding back the movie bit.
I'll tell you what, I am. If I watch Bad Santa tonight or buy the show tomorrow, can we do the movie bit tomorrow?
Yes.
All right, so my job is to watch Bad Santa tonight or in the morning, and then I give the review when you give the 911 Nashville review, and then we'll assign films for the weekend. Will you go to see the Elvis in concert movie with me if I pay?
Sure.
Do I have to buy you popcorn?
Of course.
Yeah, have you noticed at what point in the movie-going experience, like for you older folk who haven't been to the cinema in some time, they assign seats now, right? So you need to know that. There's always assigned to seating, and the expectation is you buy your ticket before you get to the theater, although you can buy it at the theater. But something else you need to know, and it's a big change for you, the movie theaters, they decided that they got sick and tired of you telling them how to put the butter on your popcorn. And so now you do that yourself. But here's what's...
It's always been like that.
It has not always been like that.
That is how it's been pretty much my whole...
It has not always been like that.
Movie-going experience.
I can promise you it's not always been that way. But what's frustrating about it, for us older folk, Jackson... is that, and this is why they did it this way. This is why they changed it. This is why you have to do it yourself now.
You talking about big movie?
Yeah, big movie. I want you to layer the butter. I want you to put about that much popcorn in my bucket and then put some butter on, and then put about that much more popcorn in my bucket and put some butter on, and then top it off with butter. And I know it's not real butter, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying butter as everybody knows what I mean. It's some form of flavored devil juice. But now you can't layer because they give you the entirety of the popcorn and then you have to go do it yourself. Very frustrating. I don't know what to do about it. Sandra writes in, your brother listens to you. How wonderful is that? It is wonderful. I love the relationship that my brother and I have. Brian and I went our separate ways for a number of years. And we found our way back to one another, and it has been a great brotherly relationship ever since. And I'm very appreciative of not only the fact that I've got a good brother, I'm very appreciative of his friendship. It's been good. What's not good? The oldest continuously operating restaurant in Tennessee is closing down. Freddie's gotten another one. Vallaro's. According to Bob Peabody, who bought the business from the Vallaro family in 2019, had to close the restaurant because he couldn't negotiate a new lease with the landowner. And, obviously his taxes are going through the roof. They're talking about the same type of thing all up and down the strip and all over the city of Nashville. And Freddie O'Connell's just killing the goose that lays the golden eggs and doesn't really care anything about it. That's going to wrap it up for us. Until next time, Matt Murphy speaking and saying, have a great evening. So long, folks.